Hello and welcome to Talk FCP and welcome back here to the channel, guys, for another video today. And today we're going to be taking a look at the player ratings for Barcelona against Eibar, which of course finished 6-1 at the Camp Nou tonight. I'm going to be rating every player, in my opinion, on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, a quick thing before we start, because last week I did my player ratings for Barcelona against Getafe, of course that 2-1 win, the last fast goal by Paulinho, and a lot of people thought that I was too generous with my ratings. I had quite a lot of stick in the comments about that. Apparently I should be much more harsh with my ratings. So this week I've tried to be a bit more harsh on the players, try to be the ratings a little bit lower, but I do find it difficult to completely slate our players. You know, I don't really kick a guy when he's down. Last week it was Suarez, who obviously wasn't great against Getafe, but I never want to give a player a sort of 2 or a 3. I know the papers would, somebody in a neutral position would, but I never claim to be neutral. You know, I am biased towards these players and I don't want to kick them when they're down. So my players are going to be as harsh as I can possibly make them without going too overboard. So I'm going to go through each player who started the game tonight. I'm not going to go over the subs that came on because I don't really feel like they had enough time, or at least enough of the ball, to really make anything happen. I don't think any of them that came on really made a big impact. I think they were just there to sort of see out the game. We were very, very comfortable at that stage, so I'm not going to give them a mark. But I'm going to start with Ter Stegen, and I'm going to give him a very solid 8 out of 10 tonight. Now that is considered for me a good mark. I think Ter Stegen tonight played very, very well. It wasn't just his saving, his shot stopping, in which, by the way, he was called upon tonight on several occasions. Some very, very good saves throughout the match, denying Eibar on a number of occasions, not least in the 3rd minute from Sergi Enrich when he was one-on-one with Ter Stegen, down to his left, a really good save. He then denied Inui. He made a few good saves in the second half as well, and also his distribution. It's always good from Ter Stegen, and he was very, very close in that first half to actually assisting Lionel Messi by a goal kick. It was a quick kick out of his hands. He was on the break, and it was very close to falling for Messi in the opposition half, on the run, on the counter. So a good performance once again from Ter Stegen. Conceded a goal tonight. There was nothing he could do about that, though the goal and the ball was past him before he could react. Piqué was at fault for the goal for me, not Ter Stegen. So a solid 8 out of 10 for the Barca keeper. Up next is Nelson Semedo, who, apart from Lionel Messi tonight, I felt was man of the match. Messi, of course, 4 goals, a stunning display, but Semedo in that right-hand side really is looking like an incredible signing. He didn't play against Getafe, and we really felt his loss, and I feel like any time that he's taken out of the lineup this season, we will really feel the hard end of that, because he has been so good since he's come in, so consistent down that right. He's got pace, he's got energy, he's got athleticism, he's developed a really good understanding down that right with De La Fea, with Lionel Messi, and with the midfield as well. And I felt like in every area of his game tonight, once again, he was so good. Going forward, he was effective. He won the penalty, of course, the very decisive first goal. It was very well won by Semedo due to his pace and his good running in behind. Defensively, he's good as well. He can certainly tackle, he can certainly defend, track his man, he's disciplined. And I thought tonight, once again, he showed all of the characteristics that we've known to come and love already in his short Barcelona career, and he is looking like a very, very astute signing. Good performance again from Semedo, 8.5 out of 10 for him tonight. Now, you told me to be harsh, and I'm sure a lot of people will probably come in here with absolutely no mercy, and they'll probably give him a lower mark than this, but I'm going to go with a 5 tonight for Gerard Piqué. I thought he was poor again tonight. I thought he was poor against Getafe, but I think some of the blame tonight possibly has to go the way of Ernesto Valverde. I think Piqué tonight really could have done with a rest. I'm not sure Umtiti desperately needed a rest. He was the one left out of the squad. Piqué played the full game, and I don't think he needed to. I think tonight he could have been taken out of the firing line. He could have had a bit of time to recover, but once again tonight he looked sleepy at times. He looked at the concentration from him wasn't there. His mistake led to the goal. He didn't get to the ball quick enough. He didn't react quick enough to the ball come in from the left from Juncker. He didn't react, and Enrich was there behind him to stab the ball home. So Piqué tonight wasn't good again. His distribution was okay, it was better, but defensively he was laxing in concentration at very key times, and I felt tonight his performance was once again way under par. 5 out of 10 for Piqué, a bad performance from him, and he needs to start upping his level. His confidence may seem a bit low at the moment. He might not be fully fit in terms of he might get a bit tired. That's why I would have rested him, but tonight once again he wasn't good, and I really do hope, for the sake of our season and him, of course, the personality that he can show, the leadership that he can show, I want him to be back to his very, very best. Up next is Javier Mascherano, and I have to say I'm going to give him a very solid 7 out of 10. Tonight he did nothing wrong, he was very decent, his passing was clean and tidy, his defending was very, very good in general, and I think he came in once again this season, he looks solid, he looks like a very good backup, a good player to bring in when Umtiti or Piqué is tired, and possibly even with the lack of form of Piqué, Mascherano could be an interesting option to start in the coming games if Valverde feels that's necessary. A good performance tonight from Mascherano, he reminded us of what he can give to the team, always a leader. He'll always give you 100%, not naturally a centre-back of course, but he's played there now for many, many seasons since he came to Barcelona. That is his position, and once again tonight he showed that he can play a part this season. He's a very good squad player, he's a very good professional, and a very solid 7 out of 10 for Javier Mascherano tonight. Up next is Lucas Digne, and I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 tonight. I thought Digne down the left was really, really good in the first half. I described him as a very, very solid player, very decent acquisition in that left back area. He's somebody that can come in for Jordi Alba and could sort of give us a bit of solidity at left back. He's not overwhelming, he doesn't do anything extravagant, he's not extraordinary, but what he does come in and do, he's solid, he does his job, he's very, very decent in his role defensively. Going forward, he's a bit more sparing. Jordi Alba's the type that's going to be flying up and down that left-hand side constantly throughout the game. Digne's a bit more reserved, he's a bit more conserved in that left back area. That did allow Semedo to be a bit more attacking on his side because Digne was the one who was holding back and being a bit more defensive, and I thought when he was called upon he did very, very well. There's a few attacks down the right of Eibar's side, he defended them well, he was solid, he was clean and tidy, and I think going forward as well he broke through on a few occasions, he made a few good runs, he was found in the opposition's box as well at one point, through on goal, clean on goal, and he was actually unlucky. It was one-on-one with the keeper, he got his shot on target, but unfortunately he couldn't convert it into a goal. But a good performance from Digne tonight. He did nothing wrong, he was solid and decent as always. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I thought he warranted that, a good display from him, and a really good reminder of the qualities that he can show when Alba isn't available or when we want to rotate. He can certainly do a job. Now on to Sergio Busquets in the midfield tonight. I'm going to give him a solid 7 out of 10. I thought that was what his performance warranted tonight. He wasn't magical, he wasn't fantastic in that midfield. He was another one though who I felt maybe could have had a rest tonight. He's played a lot of football so far this season. The problem for Busquets of course though is his natural heir to his position, Sergi Samba, has been sent out on loan. So it's a shame that we don't really have a proper replacement to sort of replace him in the team with when we need to rest him. But tonight he played well. I think he had to work a bit harder in midfield. We lacked that control tonight, and we saw last season when we don't have that control in the midfield, Sergio Busquets does have to work all that much harder, and it was difficult for him at times tonight. You know, we had a lot of players in and around him. He didn't always have that option to play out of, and it did find it difficult at times to find his man. So Busquets tonight, 7 out of 10, a solid performance, not really any mistakes, but he just wasn't exceptional because we didn't have that element of control in our midfield when he can really thrive and play the game that he loves in that Barca midfield, keeping it ticking over and running the show. Iniesta, I'm going to go with a 7.5 out of 10. I think that first half he was quite effective. He was picking the ball up in deeper areas and running out of it. Like Busquets though, I would say that he did suffer a bit from that lack of control. He didn't have as much of the ball as he may have been used to in that midfield. And I actually looked at the pass map for this one, and him and Paulinho actually exchanged less than 4 passes between them in the entirety of the game. So Paulinho and Iniesta, not really a combination in midfield that they're used to. They didn't really have that element of control. When Iniesta was able to get the ball and sort of run onto the opposition half, he created chances. He very nearly created a goal for Deulofeu, but it was just offside when the pass was made. But Iniesta, of course, showing those moments of brilliance, showing those moments of elegance when he gets that time and space in the final third. And 7.5 out of 10 tonight for Iniesta. He got the rest that he needed in that second half, like Busquets did. Was a decent show from him tonight in a game that was quite easy in that midfield area. Next is Paulinho, who I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. I thought his performance tonight was very, very good offensively. I thought he contributed to the final third an awful lot. You know, he scored a very good header for the second goal, another goal for him after his goal against Getafe, and he did contribute in all periods of play in the final third, along with Lionel Messi. There were some good link-ups between the two of them. He made a very good assist as well. There was a nice little dummy where he stepped over the ball, and in the final third, he was very, very good. The only problem I have with Paulinho, of course, is that he shouldn't really be in the final third all the time. You look at the pass map tonight, you see that his positioning was much more advanced than our usual centre midfielders are, which of course is good in these type of games. He does give us something different. He does give us a different dimension, which is interesting to have at the club and very valuable to have in your squad for these types of games. But in a bigger game, you can't really be asking a midfielder to play that advanced and get away with it. Iniesta and Busquets suffered tonight due to that lack of control that we had in midfield. Obviously, when Paulinho is that advanced in the field, you do suffer defensively with that as well, because obviously then you're a man light in midfield. It's a big gaping hole in your midfield the opposition to run into. Eibar had the extra man, and they did create some chances because of that tonight. But of course, due to the level of opposition, take nothing away from Paulinho's performance tonight. You know, he scored a goal, he contributed in the final third, he got himself an assist. He played very, very well against Eibar. I'm just making the point that in the bigger games against the better opposition, they will pick you off in your midfield if you leave yourself that exposed. So in games like this, he certainly gives us something different. He played very well tonight and thoroughly deserved that 8 out of 10 rating. Then on to Denis Suarez, of course, another player that was picked based on their goal in their last game, just like Paulinho. And Denis Suarez too got himself a goal tonight, 2 in 2 now for him. A very solid finish when it fell to him, that Lionel Messi driving run, then as a deflection. It fell to Denis Suarez. He took his time, very, very cool in front of goal, and a good finish into the bottom left-hand corner from Denis Suarez. And apart from that, on the left-hand side tonight, slightly different role to him, you know, the one where he played against Getafe, but he still settled in well. He still had a good few touches on the ball. He was still very good in the final third, and he did have some nice moments. You know, I like his close control, I like his first touch, I like the way that he can dribble. I really do like the fact that he can play on the left and in the middle as well. He does give us that element of versatility, and I think that will come in very, very handy for Valverde over the course of the season. We should see Denis Suarez picking up a lot of games this season due to the fact that he can play in those two roles when we are so desperately in need of forwards, particularly who can play wide. So Denis Suarez should get himself a lot of games this season, particularly with the performances that he showed in the past few games. And tonight, 7.5 out of 10 I'm going to go with. Very solid. He got himself a goal and a good performance from him. Then on to Deulofeu, who on the night I gave a 6 out of 10 rating. I think he worked really hard like he always does down that right hand side. He doesn't work only going forward, he works back as well. You know, he tries to do his defensive work to help out Semedo, particularly when Semedo is so advanced, of course. Deulofeu though got himself in the right positions, like I said earlier on. Iniesta played that through pass. Deulofeu was so close to breaching the offside trap and getting in on goal, and I think that's what he could really do with at the moment. A goal to get his confidence up, because when he appears in that final third, in those final positions, he does seem a bit hesitant. You know, at times he wants to be unselfish, he always wants to play in Lionel Messi, but at times he needs to go on his own. He needs to have that confidence to get the ball out of his feet, to have a shot on goal, and to have that confidence to try and score himself. Right now we're not quite seeing that. He always wants to play the ball on, and at times tonight his decision making in the final third just wasn't quite there. So that explains the low rating, 6 out of 10, but his spirit is there, and I do believe given time, given the confidence, he can come good, and the quality could well be there for Deulofeu. And last but not least is Lionel Messi, and it's very, very difficult tonight to actually give a player who's scored 4 goals not 10 out of 10. So I'm going to have to give him a 10 out of 10 rating. He scored 4 goals, all 4 of them different kind of goals. Every one of them shows a different side to Lionel Messi, and that's what you get with him. It's a penalty kick, it's an outside the box finish, it's a lethal in the box strike, it's an arriving late in the box, good positioning, goal to finish it all off. And that's what you get with Messi. So many different dimensions, so many bits of magic, all coming together in one magnificent player. It was another fantastic performance from him tonight. He's into double figures in the league already this season for goals, and once again, so good in that false 9 role. When he gets the ball that close to the opposition's goal, you know that trouble is going to be coming, and I am so excited to see what he can bring in the season coming. How many goals can this guy get? Because every single game in the league so far this season, he could have quite easily got himself a hat-trick. He is going to be stacking up the match balls when this season comes to an end, but tonight he really was terrific in front of goal. So leave your thoughts down below, guys. I'm sure you've got a lot of thoughts on the match ratings. It's obviously a bit of a controversial subject, so let me know your ratings down below. Did you find me too harsh today or too generous? Let me know that. I'm sure you will. I'm absolutely sure that you'll let me know, as you always do. But thanks as always for your support, guys. Thanks as always for your comments. A very good win tonight. Another successive victory. 6-1 over Eibar on the night. I'll see you soon and tomorrow now with more videos. But until then, as always, Visca el Barça!